I'm Jeff Gordon. Well, why do you have auto insurance? In case you have an accident. That, at the end of the day, is why you have it. If you have an accident, the next question we have to ask is, what are some of the bad things that can happen? Well, the first thing in your auto insurance policy, part one, is bodily injury. That is, if you're at fault in an accident, you miss that, you don't see that stop sign, you run through the stop sign, you're at fault, somebody gets hurt. The state requires you to have $20,000 per person or $40,000 per accident, if there's more than one person in the car, for the damage that hurts them to make them better. PIP is personal injury protection. This is an amount for you if you are a pedestrian or a passenger in your own car, and including your passengers, for up to $8,000 for your own injuries to yourself or your passengers. Uninsured motorist is if you are in an accident and someone else is at fault who has no insurance. Suppose an uninsured person comes and puts you in the hospital and puts you out of work for 6 months. You can go to your own policy for bodily injury coverage for that person who is uninsured. Property damage, this is an important one. These are all important, but property damage especially. Property damage is when you hit someone else's car, what does it cost to fix it? The statutory limits are relatively low, but that's where most of the premium is. So high limits don't cost you much more because those high accidents don't happen as frequently. We suggest that you buy at least $100,000 of property damage or $200,000 for just a couple dollars more. Optional bodily injury, this is probably the other biggest to protect you and your assets. This is if you are at fault in an accident, similar to the statutory bodily injury, but you can buy higher limits based upon what your net worth might be or how much insurance you think is appropriate. $100,000 per person, $300,000 per accident is very common. We recommend higher limits than that if you can afford them. $250,000 and $500,000 makes you eligible for a personal umbrella. There's another whiteboard on personal umbrellas. Next, we get into medical payments. Medical payments actually very similar to personal injury protection. Will pay for guest passengers and expenses that you incur yourself. Collision, here's the big one. Collision is normally comes with a $500 deductible. You can save money by going to a $1,000 deductible. If you drive a late model, more expensive car, the savings of going to a higher deductible are greater. And if you can afford more than $500, if you are at fault in an accident, we recommend higher deductibles such as $1,000 for collision. And comprehensive, for lack of a better term, it's other than collision. Comprehensive is fire, theft, vandalism, or in a windstorm, if a tree comes down and lands on top of your car, that is comprehensive coverage. Similarly, higher deductibles make sense, particularly if you have a late model car or an expensive car where the premium starts high. Those deductibles can make sense. If the premium starts low, on my 2009 Tacoma, the comprehensive premium is only $50, and so to go from $500 to $1,000 deductible, I only save about $8. It's worth for me to leave it at $500. And then finally, you can buy towing and rental if you choose. For all of these and for choices at different levels, look to Gordon Insurance to find the best fit for you and your car.